Well, you have probably have already known that Florida has taken away the government privilege of Walt Disney World. And I'm guessing that the Disney is going to appeal it. There's no doubt about it. I think Disney's going to appeal the legislation. Um, Even if Disney would exhaust it all the way to the Supreme Court. Hey, Timothy Rainwaters. Like I say, if Disney appeals the legislation that happened in Jacksonville, in Tallahassee, Florida, I think it's Tallahassee. That's the capital. Hey, Catherine Welby. Um, it's going to affect the taxpayers of Orange County and Osceola County. Um, on their property taxes because Disney will no longer be allowed to work on its roads. That'll be up to the counties, and the counties would be in charge of the fire department. This has to do with the Reedy Creek project that was originally was agreed between Disney and Florida in 1967. Um, the agreement is like about 55 years old, and Florida has decided to bring an end to it. But I believe Florida has decided to bring an end to it, and I believe that Disney is going to appeal the legislation. But in the case if they exhaust it all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, people that lives in the counties of Orange County and Osceola County, Florida, will see their county property taxes go up. And because that Reedy Creek project allowed Disney to govern itself, maintain its road, um, have like a fire department and all that. And but now on to the copyright issue. As my understanding, the copyright for Mickey Mouse in Steamboat Willie and Plain Crazy is expiring, and the federal government is not going to allow it to be renewed. So I'm kind of guessing that the government is changing rules on the copyright protections. So, but anyway, a lot of the before Mickey Mouse was ever thought of, there were stories like Cinderella, Snow White and Rose Red. Those were in public domain, and ever since Oswald the Lucky Rabbit and Alice, Walt Disney decided to protect himself by getting the protections for himself and to and decided that he would work for himself and nobody else, which was the best thing for Walt Disney. um, that is a good idea, but Ron DeSantis agreed with the state legislature to do away with the Reedy Creek project. That was the agreement that was signed between Disney and Florida in 1967. But one of the worst things that could happen, some of the worst things that from that is like eventually you'll have potholes and the roads will get neglected under the county authorities because the counties are operating under tight budgets and hey San Francisco, you can start over again to see what I was talking about, and I was talking about like Disney losing its Reedy Creek agreement with Florida, and also Steamboat Willie and Plane Crazy with Mickey Mouse are about to lose their copyright protection, and there's going to be a legislation I would say the odds are there will be legislation on Capitol Hill that's going to have to do with copyrights and quite a bit of characters before Pixar. Well, even with Frozen, a lot of those stories were in public domains, like the Snow Queen that Frozen's based on, Cinderella, Snow White and Seven Dwarfs was based off of Snow White and Rose Red. Those were in public domain. Pinocchio, and I think what Capitol Hill is going to try to do is get those that were originally in public domain back into public domain, which means, and then like Mickey and Friends would eventually have their copyrights expire and not renewed, and where people can make cheap Disney toys and other merchandise without getting a license. That's what that doing away with the copyrights, well, not allowing the copyright renewal would do. Yeah, but like I said, um, once Disney's appeal of the doing away with the Reedy Creek agreement that was put into effect in 1967, if the appeal process is all exhausted, Disney will not be able to have control over the roads condition. That will be the responsibility of both Orange and Osceola counties governments, and they are under and generally governments relies on tax revenues, and they generally go by the lowest bidder when it comes to constructions, and if you have seen in so many areas across the country, you'll see in certain areas of certain cities potholes getting patched, and those patches don't last long, and that's afraid what's going to eventually happen at Disney too, when when the two county governments ends up having to take over the responsibility of the roads. And but I think there is a possibility that Congress may end up redefining the copyright, readjusting the copyright laws, and making it where Disney can't renew their copyrights once it expires. And I was seeing on YouTube where on one channel that said that the copyright was intended to be a temporary monopoly for the original creator, so that once the copyright expires, then people can make cheaper versions. But like I said, we have to see how Disney progress in its appeal process. So, thank you all for dropping in. Have a magical day and a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Bye bye.